Hi and welcome in the video number 5. So this is Pinterest class video number 5. Now we're gonna talk about how the whole setup should look like. So I'm gonna be honest and upfront with you. There's 4 stages that I'm gonna talk about. I'm just gonna talk about like what and why you should be doing, but I'm not able to show you how. The whole process, step by step, how to implement all those things, I actually have in my paid course. There's a lot of about 7 hours of training, so you know exactly what to do and why. I'm not gonna be able to go in like such a detail that I go in my course, but these are like the step-by-step things that you should know. So this is just like a highlight that would be useful and helpful for you. But if you want to, get every single step of the way what you should be doing, also get, my one-on-one advice, get your account reviewed, get some help with the research, the content, and the keywords, then definitely think about joining my course, where you can get all that help and advice. So there are 4 stages to have a properly set up Pinterest account. First stage is called create, then it's grow, then it's manage, and then it's basically an optimization going forward. So the first 3 is like the proper setup. It takes around 40 hours to implement with the method that I'm using, and it takes around 4 weeks, 4, 5, 6 weeks, depending how much time you have to how much time you have to, this is actually better, to implement. It, like I said, it's 40 hours, so like on average it's like half an hour per day. Some tasks will obviously take you longer, but that's basically what it is. So first, create. First, in the create phase, you basically need to do a lot of research of like what type of content is on Pinterest already from your area. What type of content is showing up on top of search results for like the keywords that you want to rank for. So you need to know what an attractive profile looks like. Like, just don't think about like adding your content like straight away to an empty account with no followers. Doesn't make sense. It's just like one of the biggest mistakes that people do. Make a lot of research of like what the companies that are like your competition, what they are doing, what kind of content they are putting out there, what type of content shows up for those keywords that you want to rank for. So do a lot of research. Decide what kind of boards you want, right? What kind of content you need, what kind of content you can reuse, what kind of content maybe you should be also creating, right? That's going to be valuable for your audience. Create 4 different types of pins that will help you with the engagement, because what you want engagement. Like I said in the previous video about the algorithm, engagement is the most important. So you need different types of pins. So there will be pins, right, with the headlines that will make people click right away and see it, because it would be so enticing that they want to find out right away. So like mistakes people are making, or like things you cannot miss, or stuff like that, or stuff you didn't know. So it just grabs their attention. They just want to find it out now. There will be types of content like, those pins that like have all the information on them. So like the what's it called? I don't actually remember what the name of it would be, but they have all the information on it. Those are the kind of pins that people want to save, right? Because they just basically need to save that to their computer, because that's where all the information are. So those won't help you like get people on your site, but it will help you with your brand recognition. Like if you have your logo there, if people start resharing, your account ranking is gonna go up. So make content that's like with information, so like with value. Make content that's like entertaining. Make content that's inspirational, and make this kind of content that I just said. I don't remember the name of it. And then consistency. This is like the most important thing. When you are creating an account, you need to be consistent. Like you need to save content to your account to create very attractive profile that people want to see. So think about it as like if you have an Instagram accounts that aren't like really owned by like a influencer or a brand. It's more like an aggregator. You need to create sort of like an aggregator first before you start adding your own content. Like for the algorithm to pick up what it is that you are sharing, that's what you need to do. So you basically need to start saving content from your competition. because it's gonna help your account grow. It's gonna help Pinterest figure out what your account is all about, who they should be showing the content to. So while you will be growing your following with the people who want to engage with your content, save and share it, then you will be able to do it. Because if your account is empty and just have pins that like algorithm does not know what it is, even if you SEO optimize it, like doesn't matter. So you need to have content that's already proven to work, already Pinterest knows that that's the category. Number 2 is to grow. So once your account looks properly, like people know what is it all about, whether it's apparel brand with like everything about clothes, or everything about hair, or everything about travel, or once your account looks properly, now you need followers, right? Now you need to focus on growing and engaged following. So you need to find out where people who save pins can be, and how you can create content that they would be willing to save and also follow you. You need to find out where are the boards that, like what kind of boards from your niche people are following, like the group boards, and get access to those group boards, right? If you're like in pet niche, a lot of people follow like pet niches, just like on Instagram, like those channels with those aggregators, right? Like how to make money online, or like braids or hair or something, right? Lots of people follow it. It doesn't really have any brand underneath it, but it's easy to grow following. And then everyone who saves there, like when you click on the picture, they usually give credit, so then you can go and find out like whose pictures actually it is. So that's what you want to do. Third is the manage. So now when your account already is looking properly, already is Pinterest knows what your account is all about, when you already have some followers, and by some I mean like around 200, that's what you should be aiming at. Don't get any apps that just follow everyone, that makes sense. Better to grow an audience, like people who want to follow you. And then is the manage. So in the manage, you need to SEO optimize your profile and the pins that you are adding, right? So once you start adding pins, you start publishing those pins in those various group boards, your own boards, but also group boards. Consistency, making sure that you are pinning content every single day to all the group boards, right? Because it doesn't make sense for you to get access to 50 group boards when you are pinning 15 pins per day. It makes no sense, right? Because different people will be following those boards, and their feed changes all the time, and it changes based on what is being pinned, right? So something is being pinned. If they follow it, it can pop up in their search, in their feed. But if you're not pinning, other people are, right? So don't be stupid and don't think, oh my gosh, I don't want to pin. Like, no one cares. Just pin every single day. Just don't pin the same thing over and over. Don't pin the same pin to the same board, or across the boards, because this is spamming. So make sure that your pin isn't being pinned more than once per month to a certain board, right? So you can pin this pin to this board, and another then you can pin this board to another board, but not to the same one, right? So don't pin to the same board, the same pin over and over, or across the boards. Your pins also should have CTA, right? Click, so that people are aware that they can click on it, or like save for later, or whatever. I have the CTA, or like watch this free webinar, or like get these pants, or whatever. Like there should be a CTA. Keywording, branding, having your logo, that's all the stuff that you need to remember when you are creating your own content. And then the last stage is optimizing. So you need to understand how the Pinterest analytics work, and you need to understand how you should be pinning, right? Because to some group boards you can pin one per day, because those are smaller boards, but some are huge. Some are like have hundreds of thousands of pinners, and huge amount of pins being added every single day. So you can easily post there 2, 3, 4 times per day. But you need to create, a spreadsheet, which obviously I provide in my course, where you can make it work, and figure out like what are the best amount of times you should be pinning to those boards, so that you can get maximum exposure. Because what you want is as many impressions as possible on your content, because the more impressions you're getting, you're reaching more people, obviously you're gonna get more clicks and more saves, and that's how your account is going to grow. So that's it. That's like a 10-minute video about what I'm actually sharing step by step in my paid course. So I highly recommend, if you're really serious about getting traffic from Pinterest, those are 4 super important steps. Don't try to skip the create and to grow, or don't try to buy followers. Don't try to just post your own content. It's not Instagram, it's not YouTube. Like, it doesn't work like that. Pinterest is different. On Pinterest you need to share others people's content as well, because it's all about adding value to your audience, right? If your audience finds content that's useful and you shared it, they're gonna follow you, because they're gonna see, wow, they're not just only sharing their own content, they're sharing content that's useful for me and helpful, right? So always make sure to keep that in mind. Hope it was useful for you. If you start applying those things, you'll be surprised how much traffic you're gonna get.